If you do 200 real estate deals in your life, and on average you're paying a $10,000 assignment fee on each deal, over your career investing in real estate, you are paying $2 million of your money in assignment fees. That $2 million compounded and put to use over those 200 deals in that period in your career actually ends up being much more than that. People pay me $25,000 or more to learn exactly what you're about to learn in this video completely for free. Let's get right into it. If you are new to the channel, my name is Ruud-Johnson, and I'm the founder of both HelloPad and Easy Button Investor. I've done a few hundred off-market real estate deals across asset classes, and I've never done a deal off the MLS. Everything has been sourced direct to seller. That eventually led me to an appearance on the Bigger Pockets podcast, episode 444, and to my companies that now collectively do about $5 million per year in revenue. I'm about to take you on a journey through the 5-step funnel, the funnel that allows you to take that $2 million back that we were talking about and put it in your pocket. This is an MBA in finding off-market direct-to-seller real estate deals, and you're about to learn 10 times more in this video here than you would if you went and spent $50,000 on courses. When I was 19 years old, I did my first real estate deal, which ended up being a $105,000 check. When I was 21, 2 years later, the skills that I had developed allowed me to do in 2 weeks, contract a deal and make $175,000 on that deal. What I started to realize is that real estate investors that struggled all had one thing in common. They didn't control their inventory. But it gets worse because in all reality, if you don't control your inventory, you don't control your income. You're at the whim of the wholesalers, the market, and agents. The investors, to be honest, that have made money the past 2 years with higher interest rates are the ones that know how to source their own inventory and buy at a discount, while everyone else has to lose money or wait on the sidelines. Sourcing your own deals makes your business recession-proof or as close to as possible, and it makes you bulletproof. 1 out of every 7 homes that sell off-market. That is a Redfin stat. Since 2015, an average of 5 million homes per year have sold. So every single year, about 5 million homes in the US sell. That is 714,000 on average off-market direct-to-seller opportunities per year. And the best part is that number is expected to continue to increase in terms of 1 to 7 to 2 and 7 and eventually beyond that. What this means for you is that if you learn this and build this funnel, you are getting tens, if not hundreds of extra opportunities and at-bats per year. Even if you invested $1 million to learn this skill and build this funnel, you're probably going to get a 3, 4, 5x return on that throughout your real estate career. Crap, I know some people that have made that or close to that on a single deal that they sourced off market. Like my buddy Connor, who took what I'm about to show you and turned it into a $357,000 payday that you can see right here. Before we dive into the funnel, there are some things that you absolutely have to understand. First, not every seller who sells off market is in distress. Some simply have inherited a property or want to move quickly. Secondly, you don't need to spend endless money to get this going and start generating leads and deals off market. You can actually source leads for $40 to $50 per lead if you do it right, and a normal deal will cost you $2,500 to $3,500 to source that deal. And last but not least, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. Most of the guys that I know that are crushing it sourcing their own deals, a lot of them haven't even graduated college, like myself. Without further ado, let's dive into your MBA on sourcing off-market direct-to-seller real estate deals. This will start a bit boring, but it's all important, I promise, and it'll lead to more and more interesting, intriguing, and actionable items as we work through this funnel. I'm also going to break down, as you stay to the end, all the resources and tools that we use in our business and how you can access those all. And no, this isn't a lead up to selling you a course. What I'm about to give you is the ultimate cheat code. The first thing you have to get right if you want to start sourcing your own deals is the admin and foundation piece. And yes, this is the more boring part. Everyone wants to get caught up in fancy AI tools and fancy systems and fancy softwares and all the latest and greatest that the gurus are talking about, or I call them furus, which is fake gurus. This should be very simple. All you need is the following. 1, a CRM that meets the big 3. The big 3 are 1, it tracks your KPIs accurately or all your numbers and your data and your performance in your CRM. 2, it has integrated follow-up and drip sequences to build nurture campaigns and nurture leads over time. And 3, it has integrated phone systems. So you can email, text, phone call in and out of that system with the integrated phone system. The second thing you need is an investor-friendly title or an escrow company. If you guys are agents or you're not doing a ton of deals off market right now, you have to have someone in your corner who understands, liens and all the issues that sellers off market a lot of times run into when you're transacting. And third, you have to have the right contracts and agreements, which we'll get back to and talk about more in detail later. So many people get stuck here and they chase fancy fails, simple scales, especially when you're setting up the foundational pieces of your off-market funnel. I would also recommend at this point that you go out and you hire a $5 to $6 an hour admin assistant for a site like Upwork. For our clients, a lot of times we place them for them in a matter of days. It's not that difficult, but you need to get all the low-level, non-revenue generating work off of your plate so you can focus on moving the needle forward in things that actually matter. Now let's get into fulfillment and operations. There's a couple things here that are going to make your operation way smoother if you do them right. The first thing is understanding your boots on the ground partnerships. And what I want you to focus on here is calling off Zillow or Redfin and finding 3 to 5 agents in the market you're trying to do deals that you pay $50 to $100 to go to properties for you. So when you need photos, now that you have a machine running and you're trying to make offers on 5, 10, 15 properties a month, someone can go out and take photos for you. They can go out and meet your contractors there. During a project, if you're a flipper, they can go out and get photos for you. So someone on your team that's a boots on the ground, I recommend having 2 to 3 in your market, and quickly you can get them on the phone and get them out to a property for whatever you need done. The second thing is you have to understand the off-market title and escrow process. It's a little different than on-market. You're going to deal with a lot more liens, a lot more issues, and you really become a psychologist for these sellers. A lot of them are going through emotional, psychological, and situational distress. They're going through bankruptcy. They're going through a divorce. They're going through some fire damage or water damage or flooding. There's something there a lot of the time, not all the time like we talked about, but a lot of the time that makes these a little trickier. The third thing you want to pay attention to is having an admin assistant help you with your operational side. We talked about an admin assistant before, but you want someone for a couple bucks an hour that can jump in and help you run your operation if you're out in the field or you're doing more high leverage work. The fourth thing is detailed KPI tracking. And if you do not understand your numbers, you are flying blind. You need to understand the basics of how many leads you're getting, how many leads you need to make an offer, how many offers you need to make to get a contract, how many contracts you need to actually buy the home. Because 8 out of 10 homes that you lock up off market, whether you're flipping and developing wholesaling, they will close, but 2 of them will not because of a lien issue or title issue. And you have to understand your business and your numbers. For you guys that are more experienced watching this, if you don't know all your KPIs, you are flying blind and you will never make data-oriented decisions. You'll always be going off your gut, and it's hard to build a big business off your gut. The fifth thing is if you're very established, having a part-time or full-time TC to take a lot of the fulfillment work, the paperwork. I can't tell you how many investors and agents I know that spends hours on paperwork and tenants and walkthroughs and signing appointments and things that can be off your plate for $300 to $500 per file. More on that later. The third part of this funnel, you guys, and now we're getting to the more interesting, the more fun stuff, so to speak, is marketing. At the core root of this business, the sales and marketing business. You guys that are watching this, a lot of us fall in love with being a real estate investor. We tell our friends and family that we're real estate investors, but if you want to find your own deals, it is getting your hands dirty, and it is really a sales and marketing business. It's not a real estate business. Real estate is the product, but it is a sales and marketing business. Let's talk about the marketing piece first. On average, nationwide, 1 out of every 30 to 50 leads that you get will turn into a deal. That being said, we need to create an abundance of lead flow. Well, how do we do that? Well, it depends on your budget. Let's start with outbound marketing. Outbound marketing, including cold calling, texting, ringless voicemail, those kind of marketing channels are a lower cost per lead. Why that is valuable? Well, if you're starting out and you don't have a ton of money, you can start with an outbound marketing channel. The other pros are you get quicker results. You're not waiting on the other person. You are initiating the action. Even if you're already doing 10 deals a month, you can easily add another 5, 6, 7 deals per month via cold calling. Cold calling can take your business to the next level, whether you're doing 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, or more deals per year. No matter what asset class you are focusing on, cold calling unlocks unlimited lead flow. At one point, we had over 100 new leads per day coming in from my company, HelloPad, in Washington State. There are a few ways to do cold calling effectively. You can do it yourself, hire someone internally to do it for you, or hire an agency that is an expert in hiring and managing cold callers to cold call and generate leads for you. Those are the big 3 ways to do cold calling in the business, which is, in my opinion, the most compliant, legal, and ethical way to do outbound marketing. Let's start with if you want to do it yourself. So if you are a solo operator or you want to just start getting on the phone and making calls yourself, the first thing you need is data. And there's 3 types of data. You have niche data, you have general data, and you have predictive data. So what is general data? Well, general data is data that doesn't necessarily have an urgent or right away indicator of sale. So age, if someone's 55 years or older, yeah, they're more likely to sell, yes, but it's not urgent. How long they've owned the property? Have they owned the property for 30 years? Yes. Are they more likely to sell? Yes, but it's not urgent. Equity, you can look at things like, are they empty empty nesters. There's a lot of data that you can pull that's general data. Then you have predictive data, and that is using sites like Prospect Now, like Leadflow, which is a really flow product, like Audantic to get predictive data sets, machine learning that looks at thousands of data points and predicts someone's likelihood of sale. And then you have niche data, your pre-foreclosure, your fire damage, your probate, your pre-probate, your eviction list, your bankruptcy list. Those are all niche lists. And later in this video, I'll talk about how you can access all my trainings on all the different lists that we pull in our business. And again, no, this isn't plugging a course. It's just letting you know that at the end of the video, I'm going to spend more time there. The second thing is skip tracing. If you guys don't know what that is, it's finding contact information for those leads for those deals. And for skip tracing, you don't want to go cheap. Okay, cheaper is not better. And if you skip trace, and I know guys that have spent $20,000 on skip tracing with the wrong service and they never get leads. So using a good skip trace source like easybuttonskiptrace.com will allow you to get phone numbers back that are actually accurate and allow you to run a marketing campaign. It typically should take a few minutes to get those phone numbers back. Then you have scripting and workflow, right? And a script, very simple. I'm going to talk more later how you can access our script that's allow us to generate hundreds, if not thousands of cold call leads. And the overall workflow is you don't want to combine the cold call and the sales process. So you want the cold call to be 3 to 5 minutes. You work the script, you work the data, and then you submit leads to your own CRM that we talked about earlier. And then you work those and you build relationships. When it comes to tech to be able to cold call yourself, you need a dialer like Ready Mode, Convoso, or Call Tools. Another easy one that's very easy to user interface is Batch Dialer. Doing it yourself is great, but if you want to hire someone to do it for you internally and manage them, here is what I would recommend. The first thing I would do is go to Upwork.com, which is a global hiring talent pool, and you can hire someone overseas to cold call for you. Now, the pros are it's going to be a little cheaper than hiring a service. The cons are usually a little worse quality, and you're going to have to manage them yourself and do a lot of the legwork of management and performance. But the data and skip tracing is the same, the script and workflow is the same, and the dialer and tech is the same if you go hire someone off Upwork or a buddy of yours to cold call for you. The biggest real estate companies I know don't spend their time there. They hire specialized agencies to cold call for them. We have used Easy Button Investor for years to do this, and eventually it became a company for other people to use as well. Here's what that looks like. They'll pull and skip trace your list for you, included. They'll hire, train, and manage your cold callers for you, included. They'll deliver you leads daily, included. They also help you hire other positions like admins, lead managers, salespeople, transaction coordinators, included. They help you learn and train your team on sales, lead handoff, and the things you need to nurture and close these deals, included. So now that we've covered outbound marketing, let's talk inbound marketing, the sexy thing that a lot of gurus and furus talk about. Well, inbound marketing just means that you are spending money on an ad that then someone sees and initiates a conversation with you. So for me in my history, we've tried every form of inbound. We've done TV ads, we've done mail, we've done radio ads, we've done Facebook ads, we've done SEO, pay-per-click, pay-per-lead. And if you don't know what those mean, that's fine, but they're all ways to get traffic inbound to your company. And I think they all have value. What I recommend, if you guys aren't doing 3 to 5 deals a month, do more outbound, and eventually you can add inbound. Again, the formula is more, better, new. If you're already generating leads and doing deals, do more of that before you add on new. And once you're doing more of it, do better if you can before you add on new. Inbound works very well, but it is a higher cost per lead and cost per deal. So if you don't have the reps yet, if you don't have the team yet, and you're still getting your feet under you, don't go spend $300 to $500 per lead, because a lot of these sources, that's what a lead costs, $300 to $500 per lead. Again, it's a way to very easily succeed, but also to very easily light money on fire. Now, leads are awesome, but we can't forget what the other part of this business is that we talked about, which is sales. You cannot have one without the other. The truth is, you don't need to be the best salesperson ever to get real estate deals done. You just need to care personally and act professionally. There are some tactics I'm about to go over and some frameworks, but a lot of it is just effort, patience, persistence, and reps. It's an art, not a science. At the end of this video, I'll talk more about how you can get access to the hundreds of hours of training and resources we have for you and your team to learn sales better and convert more leads to opportunities. So when it comes to tactics, there's a few things I want you to pay attention to. One is speed to lead. Speed to lead is so important. You cannot wait 3-4 days to contact these leads if you want to actually convert them and make money. 2 is the 6x6 rule. That is 6 touch points for 6 days once you get a lead in the system. That is ruthless follow-up. And a touch point is a phone call, a text message, an email, a voicemail, and it's an incredibly important way. So 6 of those for the first 6 days to give yourself an opportunity to get them back on the phone. I like to use the example of a car dealership. If I go and input my information online, they're going to blow me up until I get back on the phone with them. The next thing is relationships over transactions, and treating the seller like your only seller, and treating them and caring about their situation and not putting dollars above their situation. 4 pillars of motivation. That's another framework you want to understand. You want to understand price, motivation, timeline, and condition. And you want to understand if there's some motivation in one of those 4 pillars. Because for us, for something to be a lead, for something to be worth our time, they have to have one of those. Then you have motivation. Motivation is so important. You need to understand why they are selling so you can paint the end picture for them and help them work towards that end result. Do they want to move out of state to be closer to family? Well, throughout the whole process, you should be emphasizing what that looks like for them. Then you have what I call the grandma frame and treating your sellers like you would want your grandma to be treated during this kind of transaction. Last but not least is being a solutions-driven company. The people that I know that do the most direct-to-seller deals or convert the most direct-to-seller leads to listings, they are a solutions company first. They are focusing on solving all of the seller's problems beyond just price. Do they need a moving company? Do they need help finding the next place to live? Do they need a lease back or a rent back so they can stay in the house longer? Do they need help with an attorney? Are they going through bankruptcy? How can you help them and solve other issues and add perceived value beyond just price? The more you do that, the more you care personally, act professionally, and work through those frameworks that I just gave you, the more deals that you will do. These tactics and frameworks will give you a leg up on 99% of investors and agents out there. I'll talk more later about how to access the rest of this training. And no, again, this isn't leading up to some Furu course. I am giving you stuff you can implement today in your business. Everything that we've talked about so far will absolutely get you to a point of creating your own inventory. The challenge then becomes building a machine that does real estate deals rather than you doing real estate deals yourself. The best way to do that is leadership, team, culture, and building a real business, not just a hustle. See, real estate investors and agents are notoriously bad business owners. Why? They can't let go of the vine. They see investing in marketing as an expense, they see hiring as a risk, and they see general business building as a nuisance. If you want to get to the point one day where you can source 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 or more deals per year, these are the frameworks that I found that help on the leadership side. First off is people scale faster than anything. You can't get to 100 deals a year by yourself. Build your overseas army, leverage the global workforce and higher positions in your company. You should always be first thinking, how do I protect my margin and fill this spot with someone overseas for lower cost? The third is hiring based on your calendar. Don't hire based on what guru is telling you. Look at your calendar and look at what is low leverage, non-income producing and get rid of that. Culture is lived. Culture is not core values written on a piece of paper. It is lived. It is protected. It is action day in and day out, how you communicate, talk, think, and work with your team. Team building is like lifting weights, right? The first salesperson you hire might suck. The 5th person you hire might suck. But eventually that 15th salesperson that you hire, you'll go, oh, this is what a good salesperson looks like. And then you'll have a template for recruiting them, for onboarding them, for training them. But you have to go through the reps. You have to get punched in the gut. You have to build that muscle. Who, not how. As you start to grow your company and become more of a leader, you need to focus on who, not how. Who is going to solve this? Who is going to do this? Not how can you do more of this? And then delegation versus abdication. You can't just hire someone and cross your fingers. You have to coach, you have to train, you have to encourage, you have to help them understand that their vision fits in your vision and your vision is big enough for their vision and their dreams to come true within that. When you put all of this together, beautiful things tend to happen. Like Ethan and Brian, who teamed up and did a $200,000 deal in Texas. Like Greg, who was about to have his first $150,000 a month sourcing his own deals. Like Andre, who just did a $78,000 double close profit and just hired his first acquisition manager. Or like Caleb, who truly discovered the power of sourcing his own inventory. Or like the dozens of others that you can hear at the link below this video if you want to hear other written and video testimonials of what sourcing your own deals does to your business. I talked a lot through this video about staying to the end and the things I'm going to give you. Well, now is that time. I started this video talking about gurus or furus, which is a fake guru. People that did a deal or two and are now selling you information based on something they did very little of or never did. Well, I am anti-course. You will not find a course from me online for $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 or anything. What I did is I took everything that I learned in this business and turned it into something that everyone could access for less than a Subway meal. I'm talking about 500 training videos. I'm talking about 200 plus resources and SOPs. I'm talking about every vendor we use at a discount. I'm talking about weekly live training and Q&A calls. I'm talking about a forum to discuss your ideas and meet other people that are going through the same stuff. I'm talking about an exact client journey that walks you through how to get your first deal all the way up, how to do 15 deals, how to hire a COO and build a real company. You can access all of that below this video for the price of a Subway meal. For $27, you can access what you couldn't learn out there for over $50,000 in courses. And if you join and you don't think I'm telling you the truth, I will give you your money back. This isn't meant to be a course. This is meant to be a community where you are empowered to start sourcing your own deals. And how do I benefit? Well, my goal is to continue to create products, leads, and tools for you to grow your business. If you have made it this far, I sincerely appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, a subscribe, a like, a comment means the world. These videos get made because you guys tell me what you want to hear. You can follow along my journey building my companies on Twitter or Instagram or one of the other platforms which are linked down below. You can also listen to 2 weekly episodes of the Easy Button Investor podcast wherever you consume podcasts. That's hosted by myself, Ruud-Johnson. Until next time, you are only one deal away.